We'll cover the exact strategy that will help you land your first paying client. So let's get you paid. I used to think that the hardest part of building a voice AI business was actually creating reliable agents. But the brutal truth is that 9 out of 10 people that learn the technology, that learn voice AI, never make a single dollar from it. And my promise to you is that by the end of this video, you're gonna have the missing pieces that can transform your voice AI knowledge into voice AI income. And we'll cover the exact strategy that will help you land your first paying client. You've probably already spent weeks or months learning voice AI platforms like Vapi or Retail. And you're finally getting to the point where you can build agents that sound well, that follow instructions. But when it comes to finding someone that will pay you for this skill, there's nothing. So you keep thinking that your building skills are not good enough. And if you can just crack this one function, so you're stuck in tutorial hell, watching video after video, but your bank account looks the exact same. Let me be clear, the hardest skill is not building the technology. The hardest skill is actually convincing the owner of a business to trust you with their client and prospect conversations, and also pay you for that privilege. And that gap between I can build this and somebody pays me for it is where most people give up. And I really don't want that to be you. So let's get you paid. My name is Alejo, co-founder and CEO of Amplify Voice. I've been a data scientist and AI engineer for the last 8 years. And while I'm super passionate about teaching the technical side of voice AI, it's the other half, the selling, that most people have trouble with. I want to have a candid conversation with you about the things that work and the things that don't. We're going to get tactical. I'm going to give you the list of things, the niches, the solutions, but I also want to change where your mind is. And if we can shift your mindset, then I am sure that you can get the first paid client. At our company, Amplify Voice, we just hit $500,000 in annual revenue. And more importantly, through our school community, we've been helping a lot of people get that first sale. People coming from a development world, people coming from a no background in anything relevant world, and get them their first sale. And it's been the most rewarding part of my journey so far. So this is what you're gonna learn today. Why warm outreach beats cold outreach every single time. The most profitable niches to go into, the use cases that generate the most amount of value for your clients and that they're willing to pay for, and how to structure the first conversation so that they want to work with you. And this is not theory, this is the exact playbook that our community is following right now to get that first client. A good niche is defined by 3 things. Number 1, they can pay you. They have the money in the bank to pay for your solution. Number 2, each of their calls is very high value, such that if they miss the call or the lead showed interest and it's not contacted, then they would lose a lot of money. And number 3 depends on you, which means what industries do you have experience in? Or what industries do you have connections in? So let me show you the best way to figure that out for yourself. We teach this through our school community in the classroom in our first build stage of the roadmap. You have the identify your niche and use case module. And in that module, we set up this industry comparison sheet that walks you through exactly what solution you could sell and what industry to sell that in by identifying pain points and identifying where you have experience. The 4 niches that I recommend the most are the most profitable are home services, digital marketing agencies that you can actually partner up with to create voice AI solutions for them, law offices, and mortgage lending or financial services more broadly. They're always looking for ways to make more money, so they're willing to invest, usually. The key question is not which one of these industries do you like. The key question is what industries do you have work experience in? And you're gonna write it down there. What industries do you have close connections in? And you write it down there. And then what industries are you interested in? Some of these may overlap, some of them might not. And through those 4 recommended niches, if there's some that overlap, maybe you have experience and you're interested in being in that niche, maybe that's an opportunity to start there. This might not be what takes you to $1 million annual recurring revenue, but it is your best place to start and get that first, second, third sale. Next, you can identify being very specific on who your persona is, like legal offices, but small practices only. What do they have issues with? Lead generation, qualification. appointment setting, employee training or onboarding, or customer support. And you can help identify this is the problem they have. So these are the potential solutions that we could provide. What are the main pain points? How are they currently solving those pain points? And what are better ways to solve those pain points through voice AI? The key here that I want you to think about is, what is each of these? What is the main industry that you have experience in? What is the main industry that you have connections in? And what is the main industry that interests you? Again, some of these might overlap, and if they do, that's a stronger indication that maybe that's where you should go. Now, for the part nobody likes to hear, what are some niches to avoid? I really recommend that you stay away from restaurants or coffee shops. They have very low margins, and making solutions like order takers for them is actually really hard, unexpectedly hard. There's a lot of competition in the space. Restaurants is not really a market you want to be in, mainly because it breaks rule number one, is they can pay you for it. Their margins are so low that $500 a month solutions is just not in their budget. Then individual real estate agents. Individual real estate agents are so tied to market conditions and how many houses are selling in their area and how many other real estate agents are in that area. And they also have relatively low margins. So they don't like going into monthly commitments that make them have money out of their bank account next month. Yes, each call that they miss is could be a very profitable call, or lose a lot of money because of missing that call, but they are usually not willing to pay for large commitments or permanent commitments. And then medical practices, they tend to have the money. Every missed call is very profitable or high revenue. The problem is the complexity. So here comes rule 3, or recommendation number 3, which is you feel like you are the right person for this niche, either because you know a lot of people in it or because you have experience in it. So if either of those is not true, stay away from medical. You're going to have so many headaches, and you're only going to realize the headaches that you're getting yourself into when they ask you, can you integrate into my system? And I've done videos about this. There's always ways to integrate, but man, it is really, really tough. And a lot of the CRMs that they use are not open. You are going to have a lot of trouble, and it's very hard to price them high enough to make it worth the trouble. So these are 3 niches that I recommend you stay away from. After you identify what niche you do want to get into, and you've identified their pain points, now it's time for the solutions. What are the potential use cases? These are the 3 highest value, easiest solutions to sell, and they tackle the pain points directly. Lead list reactivation, as simple as re-engaging old leads they showed interest at some point, and now we're gonna call them after 1, 2, 3, 6 months and see if they're still interested. This is free money. They have not come back. The business is not contacting them, and you are doing that job of calling them 3 times over a week, sending a couple text messages. If they reply back, you can set an appointment, or you can transfer the call, or you can redirect them to the business owner. Number 2 is my favorite, which is speed to lead. This is instant follow-up on new inquiries. Say they're running ads on Instagram, or they have a form to fill out on their web page. When somebody shows interest and shares their phone number and gets consent, you call them immediately, which is the hottest you're ever gonna find that lead. So engage them immediately and watch your conversion rate go up. That is essentially the value proposition. It's much easier than other solutions because that person just told you they are interested. You're just doing them the favor of calling them and closing the deal. And number 3, after hours receptionist. These are picking up calls that would have been missed either way. This is not the receptionist not getting to them fast enough. It's you are going to miss this call. For $499 a month, you could not miss those calls. Is that of interest to you? So these are the 3 solutions that I definitely recommend starting with. There's many other types of solutions, but I don't want to get you into like onboarding and training, because the skills, even if you have them, it requires you to understand the business so well to create a voice agent that can train new employees. So stay away from everything else. I would say stick with this. Once you've landed a client, you can embed yourself more and more. Where do your voice AI skills come into making their business run better? New things are going to come up, but starting here is your best bet. And for going through this, most people have two key questions, which is, who do I sell to and how much do I sell it for? That's also explained in the roadmap in a much deeper session. So definitely get into that. But what most people don't understand is that your warm network, the contacts that you already have on your phone, are the most likely first customers. Ironically, those are the people that builders avoid the most. It's like, I don't want to bother them. I don't want to be a salesman to my friends. But you're not asking them to buy. You're asking one key question. Who do I have the number of in my phone that knows business owners? And this is even more effective if you already decided on a niche and you've already decided on a solution. And then you just have a natural conversation with your friend. Share about the new business that you're building. It's not, I need to get my friend to buy this thing, or I need leads from my friend. That is the farthest from the attitude you should have. You just have a conversation with that contact, family member, acquaintance, ex-co-worker, or friend, and just share awesome news with them, which is like you're building a new business and this is what you've decided to build. Hey Tom, by the way, I'm helping lawyers make more money by catching the calls that they usually miss during after hours. Do you know any lawyers? Done. And if that sounds nerve-wracking to you, good, same. Yeah, it was so freaking hard to even start contacting my warm network because I wasn't clear on what value I was giving. I wasn't clear on a niche, and I wasn't clear on what solution I was actually homing in on such that I could perfect. So make a decision on a niche and a solution first. And if you're not too sure, still contact your warm network. This is what I'm starting up. Like maybe some of your people own a business and maybe some of them have issues with calls, either making them or reaching contacts fast enough. Don't sell them, just ask them questions. I just want to kind of understand where there might be an opportunity in the space. That's it. Don't try to sell. The sales would come. Just make sure you ask questions. Questions like, who do you know? Do you know anybody who this is a problem for? Just those two questions are probably going to help you find your first leads. Okay, so why not do cold outreach? You can send 100,000 messages. You're going to get some leads. It's the quality of those leads that matter. It's you not wasting hours, weeks, months trying to chase and convince people you don't know and that don't know you that the solution to your business isn't a friggin' cold email. That's not gonna work unless you have a ton of experience in cold. Go ahead. You've already made all the mistakes, wasted all the money. You've now honed in on the skill. Okay, great. Keep going. But for anybody who's trying to do their first sale, warm network is the best place to start because of the embedded trust that you have with your network and that they have with their network. Them sending you that referral is going to embed that trust between you and this new lead. Embedded trust is the easiest way to make sales. And that initial message from your friend to their network is something as simple as, hey, my friend Alejo is working on something related to AI. He has some questions about your industry. Could you share some time with him? That's it. That can be a three-way email or a text message. And then from there, what you do is you set up an in-person, face-to-face meeting or a Zoom meeting. It is much more effective to see each other face-to-face than a phone call or exchanging emails about what you do. Because face-to-face, even if it's through Zoom, you can get to a depth of a conversation that just by texting, you just cannot. And that initial conversation, now that you're face-to-face or on Zoom, is you asking questions. You are not educating this person on your solution. You are not trying to sell. You are just asking questions. Understanding their business is your objective. You can't serve them. You can't give them value if you don't understand what they do, how they do it, what they're struggling with. And after you ask them questions and let them talk, then you have fuel to demonstrate value. A question as simple as, would it be of value to you? if I put something together that could answer your phones for you. But that question is only relevant if they mention that that is something they're struggling with, or that their team is at capacity and cannot get to the phones fast enough. So forget about the features, forget about explaining how prompts work and how functions work and what retail is. They don't need to know about that. What they care about is value. And what you care about is showing them value. And you know what people expect when they hear a guy that is doing AI? They expect a guy with a hoodie. So the best first thing that you can do is show up with a suit. If you don't have a suit, sell your TV, go buy a suit. If you show up with a suit, they're way more likely to take you seriously. Again, you might just be starting out. You might not be the expert yet. But that's okay, because you're only asking questions. But now they are engaged with this conversation, with this guy who knows about AI, that's wearing a suit, and that actually makes a difference. Especially when you're a beginner, especially when you don't have a track record of successes. So remember, you're not trying to fake anything. You're just trying to get somebody to take you seriously and just ask questions. And finally, one of the most powerful things you can do is show them a demo, because live demos get sales. Yes, even when the live demo fails. Because then you have fuel to justify your pricing. This is just a demo. It sometimes fails. There's background notes. We're in a coffee shop. What I do is set up this technology to work for you. And that's what I get paid for. And a lot of the questions that we get asked are around what do you say? And in the sales stage, in the school classroom, you can get the art of the discovery call, which guides you exactly through what questions to ask, what to prepare for that call. And this is a proven system that has worked for us consistently and for our community members to start their agencies. Because trust me, there's nothing more rewarding than getting your first dollar. And this is the way to go about that. So warm network, show up to the call, be prepared, and ask questions. Ideally, bring a live demo. Show them what this AI technology is about, because it's very intangible for them. Maybe you've watched a lot of videos, you have a lot of clarity on how the technology works. They don't. Don't bug them with features, show them the value. Now you're probably wondering, how much should I charge? What I recommend for your first project is a $1,000 to $2,000 setup fee. No monthly commitment yet, because what you're trying to do is grow a relationship and get your first testimonial. But if there's a CRM integration involved, I recommend that you strip back the features. How can I deliver value without doing a full CRM integration? And if they really wanted, get the voice project done first. That is phase 1. You get paid for that. And then phase 2 is the CRM integration that has a different setup fee once the voice agent is already working. What you're trying to do here is get a testimonial and create an ongoing relationship, because inevitably your client is going to want upgrades in the future. So then you can transition to an hourly format where you're charging per hour of work, or new setup fees based on the different features that they want. This is all about aligning incentives. They want a better product. You want to continue getting paid. What is the format that works for both of you? Have a conversation. And now the elephant in the room, which is, well, what if I do the first free project and that gets me a testimonial? I am okay with that, as long as it's somebody in your warm network directly. This is somebody that you know, a friend of yours, because you'll probably get a stellar testimonial and referrals from that first pilot project, but not because you should give your time and energy out for free, but because there's actually a path for this person, this friend that you're doing this project for, to lead to paid projects. So this is your friend, free pilot project is fine, but even if it's a friend, tell them what the price is for you to set this up. Between $1,000 and $2,000 is usually reasonable. If they can't pay for that, but you think that doing this project for them would be really valuable for your skills, then what you ask for in return is a testimonial and the referral. So you get them to commit that if you do it for free or if you do it at a big discount, they will give you those testimonials as long as you deliver the value that you promised. But if it's somebody outside your direct network, for example, you got a referral from your network, charge for it, get paid, because what you're creating has value. So I'm going to leave you with one more resource from our resource hub, which is from the sales hours that we do every Tuesday for pricing models and sales strategies. So you can go ahead and check this one out. We really deep dive into how you should price your solution based on the value that you are delivering. You can find a link to the community below, and you can also find a link to work with me one-on-one. Whatever you need help with, especially if you're trying to scale your agency, click the link below. I'll be happy to help you. So to recap, choose a profitable niche and avoid niches and industries that have very low margins. Next, the 3 highest value use cases are database reactivation, speed to lead, and inbound receptionist for after hours, where the value is clear. And not only that, but the businesses are usually not contacting old leads, not getting to leads fast enough, and not answering calls after hours. And finally, my recommendation for getting your first dollar with AI is the warm network strategy, where you're just going through your phone, going through your LinkedIn. Who do I know that might know somebody who owns a business? A simple message to that person in your network: hey, I was wondering if you knew anybody that runs a business, that has to answer phone calls, or that runs ads and might have leads coming in daily. The more specific you can be, the less yeses you will get, but the more valuable leads you will get. Because if they are running ads or they are answering phone calls, then they probably have the pain point that you can solve. Even better if you niche it down to one specific industry. And now you have a clear roadmap to turn your voice AI knowledge into your first dollar. So my challenge to you is pull up your phone and identify 3 people, just 3 people. Friends, family, co-workers, and just reach out to them. The worst that they can say is no. You're not selling them anything, you're not chasing them, you're not pushing them. And maybe there's something holding you back that I haven't mentioned. I'd love for you to put it in the comments so I can address it maybe in a future video or in the comments directly. I'd love to hear what you're struggling with so I can help you better. I believe in you, you got this, and remember to never stop prompting.